I tell you what, today is not easy at all.
Get on the river!
That's where I need to get to. That's where the wind is coming pretty strong.
I'm not even close to quitting. You know, like I'm getting to Montreal.
Oh no. That was tough.
Good morning. I slept in. I had a really terrible sleep. My back is sore. I think I said it the other day. I don't know why, but all of a sudden this blow-up mattress has started giving me a sore back. For the first 2.5 months, or almost 3 months of this trip, it was fine, and now the last few weeks, not good. Definitely going to upgrade on the second half of this trip. But let's get up. The lighting out coming through my tent looks pretty cool, so maybe it's a beautiful day. Let's have a look. It's a little bit windy. The day isn't as good as it felt like it was going to be when I was in my tent. But the day is still early. The wind is coming straight from here, straight towards me. And guess what way we need to go? That way. But that's okay. Minaki, that is 10 or 11 miles away from here. So at a bare minimum, that's where I'm going to get to. And that's like a little town. I think there's going to be some cabins there, maybe a couple of campgrounds. So that's my minimum I want to get to. Maybe stay in a campground. See what happens when we get there though. Let's pack up and get on the river. Let's pack up and get on the river. Let's go. Alright, we're all packed up. That was where my camp was. Ready to go. Let's hit the river. Wind is going to be against me, so I got the wind and current against me today. So it's going to be a little bit slow going, and I'm just going to hug the coast so I can try to stay out of as much of that wind as I can. Oh, let's get into it. Alright, let's go. Oh, why am I fishing? See what happens when I stop paddling? I get pushed back the other way. So I've paddled about a mile since I started, and which is good. I've got the current and the wind against me, and I'm still just pushing forward. Not real fast, but I'm going forward, and that's all that matters. It's funny, everywhere I look, I can appreciate a good camp spot, you know. I'm just looking over there to my right, and there's a bit of a flat rock. I'm probably going to be doing it for years. Like every time I see just a flat spot anywhere, just like in a park or something, you know, I'll be like, oh, that'd be a good place to set up a tent. Oh no. I had a job years ago when I was 19, working in a nursery, in a palm tree nursery, and every day I had to pull weeds, and there was hundreds of thousands of palm trees, and I had to pull weeds, And then when I wasn't at work and I just walked past the garden, all I would see is the weeds. I just couldn't, I couldn't unsee weeds. Everywhere I look is weeds, weeds, weeds. Just got a big hit on my rod, and then I think, yep. Yep. Lost everything. That was a good hit. All right, I'm just gonna pull in here where it's sheltered and there's no current, and I can re-rig my rod, because that last fish, she took everything. And the fishing is just too good around here not to fish. You'd be a fool. You'd be a fool to be paddling around here and not have a rod out. So that's what I'm doing. All right, what lure am I gonna use? This is the one. I got given some deer jerky the other day that I'm really excited to try. Very good. But I'm not going to keep eating my jerky here. Right here is a otter's toilet. You can see his poop right on the top there, and there, and there, and there. Some otter comes to this rock just to do a poop. I'm going to call it Poop Rock. Fish on. I always catch a fish right in this fast water. I think it came off. Yeah. Came off. Woo! Alright, so I just crossed the bay, and that was actually really tough. Came from that gap through there. Doesn't look that far from here, but the wind was against me. You wouldn't know it now because I'm tucked behind here, but the wind was against me, the swell is against me, the current's against me. Ooh-wee! That was a tough one. Just inching forward. I'm about to turn this corner now and sort of go on the other side of this that way, and I'm imagining the wind is going to be in my face again, so I'm just going to have a little rest here, have a drink of water, and then go again. Pretty nice. Doing a bit of renovations. See how beautiful and calm it is behind here. But when I turn that corner, it's all gonna change. Look, don't have to pedal much, and I'm moving. Not around that corner. I tell you what, today is not easy. at all. It's tough. I've now been going for 3 hours and I've done 5.2 miles. 3 hours, 5.2, that's, what's that, 1.4. I'm going 1.4 miles an hour. Each time I come around a corner, I just hope that the wind's going to be a bit better. But it's funny when the wind's against you. Honestly, I don't understand it. When the wind's behind me, if I make any sort of small change, the wind's out to the side or it's that side, you know, from behind. But there or there, if I make a small change. When the wind's against me, I can make a small change and the wind's still against me. I go that way, the wind's still against me. It doesn't matter what way I go, the wind is against me. When it's behind me, it's not the same. You'd think it'd be the same, it's freaking not. And I know all about true wind and apparent wind. So like I said, I'm going 1.4 miles per hour. So that's not going to affect the apparent wind. It'll affect it by a fraction. Anyway, I've had a couple of good days, so.
Straight ahead there where that bridge is, that's where I need to get to. And that's where the wind is coming pretty strong. And this is how fast I'm going. So, I'll probably be there in about 3 hours. It's pretty close though.
Normally I'd be following the shoreline. Well, I am following the shoreline, but I'm doing it on the islands. If I was over there, then I'd be in the wind the whole time, 100% of the time, and the swell would be hitting me 100% of the time. Oh, wind just picked up. But in this section where I am, I'm just, this island on the left of me is called Chapman's Island, and obviously every time I get behind the island I'm okay. It goes all quiet and peaceful. So you would think it would make sense to go over the other side and then be completely out of the wind 100%, but it's just too far away and then it turns the wrong way. So it's not really an option to be over there. So instead I'm island hopping. And it's just getting... So it gets all nasty and windy. Even though right now the island is protecting me from the swell, so they're very small. But the wind is still up, which makes it hard. So yeah, I'm just jumping behind each island, and it's only in between the islands where it's where it's a bit windy. Look at that place over there. That one looks nice. Fish on. Fish off. Little break behind that rock, break from the wind. Now I'm gonna do this last push. fast push. Just push to get to land, and I should be a bit protected once I get over there.
Yeah, Josh. Going pretty good, you? Yeah, when I called you, I was behind that rock in the middle there, just hiding from the wind.
Oh, yeah.
It's not too bad in here though.
Yeah, once you get past the bridge and into like that lake into the town bay, the wind just like cuts straight across.
This way. Oh yeah. You heading back that way or what?
I'm going that way to get my barge.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll be home in like an hour and a half.
Cool. Do you have is there a dock there that I can?
Yeah, there's a dock there. So did you find our place on the map?
Yeah, just Google Maps. Yeah, just zoomed in.
You get into like the little cove where our cabin is.
Yeah.
It's a dock that's straight out. There's no fingers off of it.
Okay.
It's just a straight out dock.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Well, I'll see you there.
Okay.
Cool.
Good luck.
Cheers, man.
I'm just pulling in now, coming up to the bridge, just going over some wake from some boats. And it is 20 to 3, and I've had a really tough day today, paddling into the wind against the current. Today was forecast for 27 degrees and 8 to 9 kilometer winds from the south. So they had the south part right, but that was far more than 8 to 9 kilometer winds. That was more than 15 knots. So that was, I think that was up around the 25 kilometer winds. Anyway, so I'm going to stop in this town, Minaki, one of those, and I called a few places to see if they've if I can pitch my tent. I called 2 places and they all said no, we only do cabins. And then I called the 3rd place, which was called Pine and Paddle, and I spoke to a guy, Josh, and I asked him, hey, do you just do cabins or do you do tent sites as well? And he said, no, we only do cabins, sorry. He said, yeah, sorry about that. And I said, oh, no worries. I said, I'm just canoeing across Canada and I'm looking for a tent site. And he says, oh, he said, in that case, yes, I do. I said, well, hey, I said, you changed your mind quickly. And he said, well, he said, you're doing good things. So he said, yeah, I'm really happy to put you up in it, you know, you can pitch your tent wherever. And so I was like, wow, thanks, man. That is that's the attitude that I've found across Canada so often. So yeah, so if you're ever in Minaki, Minaki, M-I-N-A-K-I, and you want to come here and stay for a few days, go fishing. I haven't even seen it yet, but Josh is a good guy, and at the very least stop in and say good on you, Josh. The rail bridge. Holy guacamole, that was a big day. It wasn't the biggest day, but it was certainly a challenge. Sometimes I think back to the start of this adventure, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and about as fit for canoeing as a potato. No fitness, no finesse, just me, a paddle, and blind optimism. And it took a few weeks before my body stopped treating every paddle stroke like a personal attack. And luckily in the first 3 months, I didn't have to paddle upstream until my body was conditioned. But now, 3 months in, fully marinated in effort and sweat, and still afloat. And guess what? I'm just 1 day's paddle from Kenora, my final destination for this year. All right, so I just arrived here. Well, I arrived earlier at Pine and Paddle. So they got a couple of cabins over here. They got 2 cabins that they rent out, and but they're fully booked. And he just gave me a patch of grass here in front of his house. Cabins are just there, and his house is just here. So I'm just going to pitch my tent right here on the grass. The only problem he said is he's got chickens right there, and he says at about 5:30 they wake up at about 5:30, so that's gonna suck. But no, really nice of Josh to just let me pitch a tent on his backyard. So yeah, and he just ran me over to the marina where they sell some food. So I've picked up a couple of snacks and a little bit of dinner, just so I don't have to eat the dehydrated food.
System that takes a little while of that, yeah.
You didn't mind a little bit?
Come on in.
So I'm just sitting here by the fire, and tomorrow is my last day. Tomorrow's the last day of this year. I'm coming back next year to finish. But it's funny because the last few weeks I've been ready. You know, I've been ready for this year to be over. And now that it's here, now that tomorrow is going to be my last day paddling for the year, I'm a bit sad. Yeah. It's a strange feeling. It's really strange. I'm kind of happy and sad at the same time. Yeah. I feel like I've grown so much. It's funny when I look back at day one, you know, when I look back at the videos of day 1, day 2, day 3, you know, the first few weeks, even when I look back at myself, I feel like I was a different person then.
I am stoked.
You know, just so new, so fresh to canoeing, to Canada, to the wilderness.
Whoa! What a feeling.
And now I just feel pretty comfortable, you know. I don't know, like right now I can't think of what I'm taking out of it. Like from the bigger picture, I know personally I'm taking a lot. I've learned so much about myself. I'm really proud of myself, you know. I've learned to love myself on this trip. It was always something that I've struggled with, and
Yee-hee.
I've really learned. You know, I've realized how much drive I have, how much grit that I have, how much determination, how much grit, just grit. I'm not even close to quitting. You know, like I'm getting to Montreal. not even close. There's been no time on this trip that I've felt like I can't do it and I'm not going to do it. You know, I've never felt that once, not one time. There's been one time that I can think of, just one time that I was kind of like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm having a bit of a moment in the last 10 minutes of like a what am I doing moment. And it's weird because it's taken 2.5 months almost. It's the first time I've really had it. But I'm having it. I'm having a what am I doing? What am I doing this for moment? And I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest. And that was the night that I was in the reeds in Cedar Lake when I spent 16 hours just pushed into the reeds with all the insects. That night I was like, what am I doing this for? Like, everyone else is just being normal. And here I am spending the night in the middle of a lake in the reeds. I don't know. This just isn't ideal, is it? But still, it wasn't like I don't want to be here, like I'm quitting. It wasn't like that. It was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing this for? You know, even this last couple of weeks of coming up Winnipeg River against the current, you know, like if that had been at the beginning of the trip, oof, I don't even know. I don't know how I would have done.
Oh. Come on, no, not the rocks.
Because my body is used to paddling now. I can paddle all day. So, because especially today was tough. Today was tough, and I think it was especially tough because of yesterday's portage over White Dog Dam. That was over a kilometre portage that I had to do 3 times.
All right, let's go.
So, but again, when you're canoeing, your legs aren't doing anything. Your upper body is, and your legs aren't. So, for 3 months, I've just been sitting. So all of a sudden, to now ask my legs to start working with a canoe on my shoulders and bags on my front and bags on my back. Yeah, today I could feel it. I could feel it in my shoulders, I could feel it in my hips. And then paddling against the wind, against the current, it was a tough day. But anyway, I'm gonna try to really enjoy tomorrow, my last day. And yeah, just take it all in before arriving in Kenora. And when I do arrive in Kenora, Kelly, one of the followers who lives in Winnipeg, he's driving out and he's gonna pick me up, and he's gonna hold on to my canoe over winter, and then I'll fly out of Winnipeg. That's the plan. Anyway, this is a long chat, so see you later. I'll see you tomorrow. Last day tomorrow. See you then. So as you know, I'm just one day away from finishing for this year. It's wild to think that this leg of the journey is almost wrapped up. But before I dive into season 2, I really do want to hear from you. The folks who have been following on through all the paddles, portages, and questionable choices I made. What did you enjoy the most? Were there moments that stood out? Topics you found interesting? Maybe something that I totally missed that you'd like to see next time? I'm all ears. Next season I'm planning to switch a few things up a bit and try some new things. But at the end of the day, you're the ones watching, and I want this to be something we build together. So please let me know your thoughts. Also, I'd like to do a bit of a Q&A. So if there's anything you're curious about, whether it's gear, the trip, my sanity, drop your questions in the comments. Nothing's off limits. I'll pick out a bunch to answer in some up and coming episodes. And I just want to say how grateful I am, and thanks for sticking around this far. So once again, please like, share, subscribe, and say hi in the comments below. And if you want to support my channel in a bigger way, then please consider becoming a patron, where you will get first opportunity to come sailing with me, real-time updates, and much more. Becoming a patron keeps the journey going and the videos coming each week, and none of this would be possible otherwise. Just click the link in the description below. And don't forget to check out my swag store at www.whatintheswag.com and get yourself some merch. Also, don't forget I'm a sailboat captain. So if you need a captain or crew, then head to my website. It's www.yachtdeliver.com. Fill out the simple form and I can deliver your boat or captain a charter in any location of your choice. Thanks for watching and see you next week.